So go to ChatGPT or whatever generative AI one you like. So I'm using Claude here. Um, so just so you can go and say give a bit of things, but since you just take any job that you would like to do and kind of say develop a job description, right? So create a job description for you. Don't have to have the CV, just create a job description, and using that job description you can prepare a detailed so based on the JD given above, prepare a detailed process mapping for this job. If you don't know what process mapping is, you can ask ChatGPT or whoever what process mapping is. Okay, so create a detailed process mapping. So number one, create a JD, and based on the JD, prepare a detailed process mapping for the job. If you have done that, okay, so the next one, based on the previous process mapping, do process analysis and re-engineer these processes for integrating GenAI to make these processes efficient, productive. Anyway, this is something I wrote at that time. Doesn't have to be exactly that one. The idea is this, based on this process mapping, re-engineer these processes to integrate GenAI to make it more efficient, time saving, productive, and whatever. So this is whatever I wrote at that time, whatever came to my mind. But the idea is use the process, take the process mapping of the current job and re-engineer it to use GenAI so that we can make it more efficient and productive. And try to do this in multiple kind of platforms and see what type of things you get. Like even right, do this in multiple platforms. Because the thing is, as I said earlier, like more you practice, more you do things. I mean, I'm doing this every day in different things because every day, every platform is changing, like updating and changing. So you have no idea. The whole objective is that we get the best outcome, right? So it doesn't hurt to try in different platforms again and again, because you will end up getting, like, for example, when DeepSeek came out, they had the deep research and deep search, and so it was much better than ChatGPT at that time. But now ChatGPT came out with deep research. Now it's much better than DeepSeek's one. Tomorrow somebody else is going to come up with something new, right? So you always have to go and keep checking, what's giving you the better options, better solutions, and so on.
preferred outcome. Like currently for your this kind of documentation or the JD writing, in general cases, and then again not always it will come up with the best answer all the time, but in general cases 99% of the time the ChatGPT 4.5, the latest model that ChatGPT came up with, will give you the better answer for writing the proper documentation and writing the content writing. I mean, simply saying the content writing, the GPT 4.5 is now giving the best responses.
Yeah.
And another thing is you can also use the GPT O3 mini model. O3 mini, even though it's a reasoning model, you can use it for your content generation if you're going for a precise type of content writing, like writing a technical project proposal or something like this. So in that cases, if you give a large context, in those cases it will be easier. Then again, you have to go for the context window. You can see that the context window means, as Roshan sir was explaining to you, the prompt, they are giving like, sir, how many pages you have given in the prompt? 37 almost pages. So in those cases, the prompt, we have to look at the prompt window context size. So we call it as a token in our cases. We don't call it words like. Sorry for interrupting. So if you use, if you go for the like, if you, we can't exactly count the tokens, because if you're not familiar with tokenization, you can't say, but you can say like 4 point, I mean for 5 tokens, it's almost forward. Okay, the 4/5 of token is 4/5 of a word. In general, it's an average. So in that cases, the 2 million, the context size of Gemini is 2 million. So if you are giving a large project proposal and want to craft a proposal or a documentation based on that proposal, on those cases, Gemini will give you the better response, because it can understand, it can go very much deeper into that proposal. If you are giving a long example, so something like this, maybe a TOR, maybe a tender document or something like this. Thank you.
Yep, and one of the things to add to that one is, it would have been different if you said this 6 months ago.
Yes.
Right? 6 months ago, the what you said will be different. Now it's different. In 6 months in Hong Kong, it will be different. Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah. So that's it, right? So that's why I said, so that you need to know what is going on. So it's hard to keep track. So the best thing is to keep checking, trying in different things. Okay. So are we done with re-engineering? Have we re-engineered with GenAI? Okay. So create a JD, do a process mapping, and based on the process mapping, do a process analysis and re-engineer the process to integrate GenAI to make these processes efficient and productive. Okay. Right. So if you have done that, otherwise we'll come back. So if you have done that, right? Right. Okay. So we'll do this later. We'll come back later. You can do that. Okay. So I'm not using that. Forget about open source. Give me a table. Forget about. Right. Now, okay. So let's do this one actually. Let's break out. I mean, I think we have almost everybody back. Right. Can we create different groups now? So let's identify who are in the technical field. Technical field and the technical field, like specifically networking, or system administration. Okay. Other technical. What are your side? Ah, software development and all that. Okay. So let's create 3 groups. How many network side? How many? Network and systems too many. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is okay. maybe too big? No, fine, okay. Sign, we'll have one group. And the other side, software development and one, two, three, okay, 4, 5, okay. We have more. Okay, maybe we can create two groups there, right? So it's one group for that one. Administration. Okay, your HR. HR, any HR? There's only one HR. Okay, so one HR. So okay, administration. I mean, anybody from other areas can go to administration. Okay, if you want to, like, you are in academic, you do administration work. If you are in, any other field, you do administration work. So if you're like, you can go to administration or HR because you have to do these jobs anyways. So administration, only one. Just one. Okay, right. Okay, so we'll put one group into administration. Finance. Finance, accounts, there's Kajija, where's Gaini? There's Gaini, raise your hand. Okay, yeah, there's Gaini. Who else? No other finance people? Ah, yeah, you can go to administration, yes. Okay, so we'll have administration, two groups. And finance, we'll put you to marketing, communication, any other documentation, whatever, no? Okay, so then academic, okay, look, academic we'll put into other areas. Find another research. So there's only one. Okay, one. Okay, you are doing research. What's your group? What do you want to be? You want academic group, or you want to go into? Okay, fine. Right. So we'll create one networking group, one software group, two administration groups. Two administration, right? We had about 8 people in administration. Yeah, we had. Software, how many? Software 7 or 8. Okay, we'll have 2 in software as well. Okay, so have about 4, maximum 5 people in a group, 3 to 5 in a group. Lesser the better, because then you will be active and doing work. Otherwise, you'll be waiting for others to do jobs, right? So let's try to have like 3 to 5, around 4. Okay, so let's create groups, and then we'll start working together. So as I said, we'll start identifying tasks and do that. But let's create the groups, and then we'll go to the next step. Yeah, you have administrative tasks as well. You want to do both. Admin they have too many. Create 2 groups though, like administration 2 groups, or maybe even 3. I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah. So academic administration and network administration. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we can create academic administration and then NREN administration.
presentation and all that. Imagine that.
Okay, so the next task is this, right? So you have now, based on the previous process mapping, you identified, you re-engineered the process to make this better, right? Now from this one, you need to identify 3 to 5 tasks, right? So you did a process analysis, process mapping, you re-engineer the process. If you did a re-engineering process or a process mapping, you should see that it is broken down into tasks, right? The process mapping is already broken down into tasks, right? Now, you can, so you have to work together as a group because rather than individually, right? I mean, you can do that going back home, you can do that individually, but for here we'll do it group work, right? So identify tasks or few tasks that you can work on immediately, because the task is, you need to identify the task. In the next session you will present what you're going to work on, right? You can also look at the solutions and all that. You will present what you're going to work on, and then you will work on the solutions. You will finalize the solutions tomorrow morning, prepare your presentations, and you will present in the final session tomorrow. Okay? So you need to implement something by tomorrow midday. Okay? So you can't find things to do which will take a month or even weeks, right? You have to find some things that tasks that you can replace with GenAI, with solutions that you can implement within a few minutes, hours, maximum a day. Okay? So that's the task. Right? So now you have re-engineered it, you have identified the task, I mean you have created a list of tasks. Just try to identify what should I work on. Or discuss and see to come up with some tasks so you Is it clear? Any questions, any concerns? So I mean, your job role, you looked at it, no? So you did a process mapping, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So together, come up with something that is common. That's why we put similar people together.
For example, the weekly report, it can be similar. Monthly report generation, it can be similar. Summarizing something, it can be similar. There are some common topics.
Don't give, don't give them answers. Let them figure out. Don't help them. Let them come around. To do so, pick some tasks that can be done immediately today. So, but when you go tomorrow, you already have the solutions with you. So no longer going to use anything else other than GPT or GenAI to do those things. All right? Okay. Are they identifying? Yeah. So now when you're identifying these tasks, like to replace with NAI and all that, what's your focus? What do you want to really do? Now, okay, so you want to replace with GenAI, right? Now you have, when you do the process mapping, you come up with so many different tasks, like many tasks, like many processes are there in your jobs because you are doing so many different things as an academic, especially there are so many things. So you are doing so many, there are so many things, and then those processes, there are so many tasks involved. So if I ask you to pick few tasks to do now, what's your priority? How do you pick tasks? Okay. Okay, it's good. So how do you clarify this, categorize this effort part? Yeah, the time. Yeah, time. Of course, that is there. Okay, so this is so normally now. Yes, so that's great strategy. So normally my advice is this: the first thing I ask is not even Gen AI, even before all this using technology. The two questions I ask is, what are the specific tasks or specific things that in your job that you are wasting most time on? What is the thing that you waste your time most on? So for example, I mean, for example, if I ask this from a like say for example, our administrative officers in a university, they'll say scheduling meetings, go attending meetings, and writing reports and all that, right? And so this is like, like the key word is this. It's not what's the thing that I am spending my most time on, what is that I am wasting my most time on. There's a key difference in this wasting and spending. Because wasting, you know that I should not be doing this. I'd rather not do this. Right? So wasting means that I'd rather not do it. So where does it come? This is the most repetitive, most boring jobs. Part of the job where you are like forced to do it and you're doing it because you need to do that. So that's number one. And the closely related next question is, what do you hate most? What are the parts that you hate most in your job? Because if you can automate that one, if you can replace that with Gen AI, you are already happier and with more free time, right? So of course, when you're saying okay, technology, you'll look at other things. My advice is, first replace the things you hate most, and you'll be happier, and you'll be you are enjoying your job already, right? So find the parts that you hate most and you waste time on. Okay, but the thing is this. Now, when you're doing this, most of the time, Gen AI, more often than not, the things that are easily replaceable with Gen AI are the things you hate already, because those are the repetitive parts of the job. So without really trying to do it yourself, what I advise you to do is to actually go and ask ChatGPT itself, because it actually has better. So the thing is this, if you have been brainstorming yourself, remember GPT. Now this is one of the things, this is one of the key things you need to kind of realize about Gen AI, right? Now, when printing press came in Gutenberg, we started, everybody, the knowledge become available to everybody, but it's only a few books at a time, right? And then with Google search, more and more information made available. Now with Gen AI, what has happened is, we have the knowledge of everybody, because all the knowledge, all the data is now in large language model. When we want to get something, if you know how to ask about for it, you can actually get the knowledge of everybody, right? So like, why should we bother about, we can we can actually brainstorm later and put things together, but my advice would for you to be, just ask ChatGPT or Gen AI. From the re-engineered processes, identify 3 to 5 tasks which can have the most significant effect on reducing my workload. Just ask, there's nothing to lose it, right? You ask about it, you see what it gives you, and see whether it makes sense. If not, go and ask somebody else. But, yeah, this is the easier route. You don't even have to worry about thinking, what should I start on first? Even ask that from ChatGPT or DeepSeek or whoever. Hmm? The task. Yeah, task. Yeah. Problems. Yeah. 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 You're now in the problem mode. Yeah. Right? Even for that one, don't waste your energy. Right? Don't waste your energy even to think about what to work on next. Even for that, ask. And see, the thing is this, but the ask and don't see whether it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, ask it different way. If it doesn't make sense already, go and ask DeepSeek. If it doesn't make sense, go and ask Claude. Right? Now it will give you 3 to 5 tasks, like, specific tasks that will have a biggest impact.
Another part is another part is, as sir was saying, like you can ask it to provide what's the repetitive task that you can replace with 3 to 5 tasks that you can replace. But before that, as you can see, it's you are building the conversation block by blocks, right? So here comes also the part of prompt engineering and giving the more context about getting the right output. At first you have taken the job description from the chat gpt, then you have done the process mapping. But if the job description doesn't match your actual job description, then it's not going to change the repetitive task of yours, right? So you have to first ensure that the job description that you have created at first, you have given it proper inputs, like this is the tasks that I do, this is the tasks that I do, like the general type of ideas. Then based on that you get the job description out of the chat gpt. Because if your job description is not relevant or accurate to your day-to-day job, then it will not 100% accurate, then you will have to ask again. But if you make your base correct one, then based on that base your output will be much more effective. Okay, so first make your job description accurate, then go to the process mapping, then if you go to the high impact task for workload reduction, then you will have the better outputs. And if not, you can ask again. You can also use multiple models for maybe mixing it up, changing it a little bit, then providing that final job description or providing a final output of that job description to ChatGPT. It's not like you have to take everything what it says. Obviously we don't take everything what it says, we change it, but you can use the multiple models, multiple GPT models available online, then you can take that and we can make it work. Okay.
So the idea is this, right? So when you say a process, the problem is So AI and all that. So let's say like, so you're working on what, networking. So what's the process like? What's the process that you? What are the processes that you have? Or what type of processes that you have? Okay, let's say crisis management and incident reporting, right? So if you take crisis management and incident reporting, right? So how many things are there? How many steps are there in this process, right? It's a huge task, right? So there are many different steps, and then there's streamlining aspect of it. How to streamline? Can you, have APIs from this one to that one? How to together? Or should we build a single software to do it, right? And if you think from process point of view, what's going to happen is, AI software, all this is going to make things life easier. It's never going to happen, because you will never start, or you will keep creating requirement documents, UML diagrams, all this. Nothing will happen, right? So instead of that one, let's do that. I'm not saying don't do that. This can happen. You can do. So now you have already identified how that can be done. Go and do this again. So go and do this again. Say, instead of Gen AI, say with automation, streamlining AI, how can I re-engineer this better? If when you say it, then it will give you a separate plan. Some parts of that will be Gen AI. Some parts of that will be AI. Some part that will be just simple software engineering. But now you have a way of doing it, and you can go and implement it. But for today, or immediate action, because to do this, the only reason, the main reason that you are not doing this is that you don't have time. Right? So first task is free up more time by replacing things that you can replace immediately. Free up time, and then you can work on this one. So instead of processes, identify tasks. It's not about the processes. If you replace each task one by one, your process will immediately, like automatically, it will be replaced. Okay? And if like, so that's what they say, right? Like if you do simple task quickly, then you can do. Okay, so the next one, like you can even say, so if you have identified your task, if you have identified your task, you can actually go and get GenAI support to see how GenAI can be used. So if you have identified your tasks, go and ask ChatGPT or GenAI itself how these tasks. So these tasks show me how GenAI can be used with detailed steps. So the idea is this: don't try to worry your head trying to come up with solutions. Get GenAI to do everything for you, right? Don't do anything basically. Get it to do it for you. If ChatGPT is not giving answer, ask Gemini, or if not, ask DeepSeek. More than that. Don't think. So like even that one, ask GenAI. If what the GenAI is telling you, you don't understand, they ask GenAI what this means and give me this one. Oh, that this is too. Like give me me a simple one or give me the solution, whatever. Don't waste your energy trying to think these things, right? The whole idea is replace that with that thing. But the important thing is this: you need to see whether it makes sense. So we basically call this the smell test. See whether this is like looks okay, everything's looking okay, good, then you can proceed. Just ensure that it looks okay and then try it out. If it's not, try it again. But you can do this like very quickly, right? Earlier you had to go and read books, see which is right, you have to compare, right? Or like so what I normally don't do, I will ask this here and I will go and ask DeepSeek, I will ask Gemini and see what they are giving. Right? Just compare and see, right? Then okay, what is there, and you can do a comparison also. You can just, I will get this answer, and I'll go to say I'll get DeepSeek answer and go to ChatGPT says, I got on this answer from somebody. What do you think? And then,
Oh yeah, that's good idea.
I always do that. I create a document from one, and I go and say that I got this from another GenAI. What do you think? And then it will give you like. It's never jealousy. There's no jealousy or anything. You do a critical analysis and tell me, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
It will take the good part of that one,
Yeah.
and it will take the good part
Yeah.
of I mean, most of the cases, then it takes the best ideas
Yeah.
from that one,